how did you stop that loop then? Or when do you remember the first time you recognized it, that it was a loop?
Yeah, I felt that way for a long time, that I felt something was missing. Like I knew that my love for myself could not be based on other people. There had to be something else that I could have a foundation of. Okay, fine, there can be ups and downs, but I never go down to a low where I don't love myself. And I definitely think meditation was the turning point for me. And I felt that because it was the one time in the day where I would end up spending time with myself. Like I feel like people don't do that. We spend time on everything to do with hair and makeup and clothes and on other people, looking at other people, talking to other people. But I felt like I wasn't spending any time actually thinking, who am I? Like, I don't know who I am. And I feel like in a relationship, whether it's with yourself or whether it's with somebody else, you have to know yourself to love yourself. We never get into relationships with people or friendships with people without knowing them. You can't fall in love with someone without knowing them. And so I felt like, okay, who am I? Like, I actually don't know who I am. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I dislike. Everything that I like or dislike is based on other people. Everything that I like about myself is based on other people's likes of myself.
They're saying like, oh, you've got beautiful eyes, your hair.
Exactly.
So like, my eyes and hair must be lovely.
Exactly. And so everything is to do with, oh, they like it, so that must be who I am. And so I felt meditation was the first time, or just journaling was the first time I started writing down things about things I like about myself or don't like about myself. And so it created more of like a relationship with me. I was having a relationship with myself finally, rather than my perception of myself because of other people.
God, I love that. You did a video called Self-Love.
Yeah.
And your quote is, how can you love yourself without knowing who you are?
Definitely.
Oh God, when you said that, I was like, quote card, by the way, put that on my quote card, please. It was so beautiful because it's so true.
Yeah.
So for you, it was journaling and meditation. Is that like the first steps for you to really find out who you are as a person?
Yeah, definitely. And also, I have to say my husband was a big part of it. Meeting somebody who really understands himself so well. And I always used to see it at first through a barrier, like we weren't close at this time. And then when I got to know him more, I realized that actually he can be so much more supportive to me understanding myself because of how much he understands himself. And so for me, he's always been such a supportive factor to me understanding myself so much better and just believing in myself so much better. Every time I think I can't do something, he's like, no, just study it, understand it, and then you'll be totally fine.
That's amazing. And for those of you at home listening or watching, Jay Shetty is your husband. If you don't know who he is, you've been living under a rock. Who basically used to be a monk. And so he went on his own journey. And so for you, did you see then that journey, like, did it make you realize that anything was possible, or was it his teachings that then helped you?
I think it's a bit of both, just his mindset to everything, obviously all backed from when he was a monk. Everything that he is now is because of those years where he spent truly deeply trying to figure out who he is, understanding the soul, understanding himself so much better. But just his journey, but also just general interaction with him. Like every day I see how he reacts to things or acts towards people or acts towards himself. He's so loving towards himself, and not in a egotistical way, but just in a way that, okay, we make mistakes, like things happen, but get back to it and just keep moving forward. And for me, I was always a wallower. Like every time something goes wrong, I'm kind of like, oh man, I could have done this, or I could have done this, or I wish I had. Always very like self-critical. And I find that he's not critical towards others or himself. And I think that makes such a difference, because as soon as you end up criticizing yourself more, you actually end up just building a critical mindset. And so then I'm critical to you and you and you and everybody. You end up being critical to everything about your body image, about your personality. And so just seeing that not critical nature, that nature of just being accepting of everybody and everything, ends up making you love yourself so much more, because your mindset just completely changes.